Some consider it as an enormous engineering feat, a shining example of innovation and perseverance, and a major economic driver for the region and the country. Others see it as an environmental disaster and the result of political hypocrisy. The tar sands, however, are ultimately a story about oil mining and its consequences.
No country would find 173 billion barrels of oil in the ground and just leave them there.
As the world's largest industrial project, the scale of the Alberta tar sands operation is difficult to grasp. However, despite the deposit being known since the 1700s, it was only recently that the scale of the project increased to its current size. Back in 1984, the tar sands were already an established producer of oil. However, output of the region was still relatively small at around 200,000 barrels a day. What spurred the growth of the area was a combination of improvement in technology, driving exploration costs down, and an increase in oil price, pushing revenues higher. As you can see from this time-lapse, the grand expansion of the oil sands coincided with the oil price increase in the early 2000s. Today, after more than $300 billion of capital investment, the oil sands output exceeds 3 million barrels a day, which represents around 4% of global supply. The installation itself grew in size from about 75 square kilometers in 1984 to over 900 square kilometers in 2016.
Lake, a good portion of the town has already been burned to the ground. That includes the town hall, the high school, the library. The main mall in the middle of Slave Lake is also on fire at this time. Now you can see those large flames there. That is a neighborhood. There are dozens, hundreds, maybe even thousands of people who call that home. It is now completely destructed. You can also see that there are very few fire emergency crews working here on the scene. There were bombers, air bombers in the air earlier today. There are no longer any air bombers. In the center of the town, there is very little in terms of emergency crews. Basically, what they're focusing on at this point is evacuating the town. They're forcing everybody to leave Slave Lake to head towards Edmonton on this highway.
Hundred families and at least 400,000 people had their water supply disrupted. The environmental impact was truly shocking, with around 11 tons of fish being killed, hundreds of hectares of forest were destroyed, and multiple cultural monuments feeling the brunt of the destruction. All of these effects impacted the local economy and general standard of living for the communities around the area, with food and water shortages. Interruption of mining activity severely affected employment in 37 villages and cities, and a general ban on fishing and agriculture added salt to the wound. This meant that people had fewer ways to earn money or even get food for themselves.